Think about the massive effort it takes to get water all the way to the top floor of a skyscraper. You can hear the heavy mechanical pumps vibrating through the walls and feel the incredible amount of electricity used to fight gravity. Now look at a giant redwood tree. It moves hundreds of liters of water all the way to the top of this canopy, hundreds of feet in the air. It operates in total silence, without a single motor or beating heart to drive it. Nature has solved this engineering problem with an internal layout that looks a lot like a high-rise building. Inside the trunk are dedicated systems that act like the building's plumbing and elevators. This diagram shows the two main highways. The blue path is for water traveling strictly upward, and the golden path is for food traveling wherever it's needed. Biologists call these the xylem and the phloem. Remember that phloem is for food. Understanding how these two paths work reveals the secret to how plants stay alive and keep the rest of the world fed. Let's start in the basement, the roots. The first big challenge is just getting water from the damp soil into the plant's sealed internal pipes. Molecules naturally want to move away from a crowded area and spread out into a quiet one. If you spray perfume in one corner of a room, it eventually reaches the other side. This natural spreading out is called diffusion. This diagram shows a specialized version of that process. Here, water molecules pass through a thin filter. It lets water move from soil into the root, but keeps the plant's fluids inside. This one-way filter is osmosis. As water pours through those pores, it gets crowded inside the root cells. The molecules pressing together create physical force, pushing the liquid upward. This root pressure provides the first nudge the water needs to move up the stem. Because this filter system works automatically, it functions like a silent, passive loading dock, constantly forcing water into the plumbing without the plant having to use any of its own energy. As we move up into the stem, we find the xylem. These are the heavy-duty water pipes that provide the main structure of the plant. Looking at these two diagrams, water travels through long, hollow tubes. These are the remains of cells that died and emptied out, leaving thick, woody pipes that withstand high pressure as water flows through. But that little push from the roots isn't enough to reach the top of a tree. To get water all the way up, the plant needs a powerful vacuum pulling from the top. That vacuum starts at the leaves. As water evaporates into the air through tiny holes in the leaf, it creates a chain reaction. Because water molecules like to stick together, when one molecule leaves the top of the chain, it physically pulls the next one up to take its place. This constant evaporation pull is called transpiration. This engine responds to the weather. When the sun gets hotter or the wind blows harder, the water evaporates faster, which pulls the chain of molecules up through the pipes with even more force. This means the energy for the whole system doesn't come from the plant, it comes from the sun, which vacuums hundreds of liters of water up into the sky every single day. While the pipes are bringing water up, the leaves are busy acting as the kitchen, turning sunlight into sugar. Now the plant has to deliver that food down to the dark roots that can't make their own. For this job, the plant uses the phloem. Think of this as a living elevator system that's constantly moving food and nutrients to where they're needed most. This diagram shows that unlike the hollow water pipes, these food channels are alive. You have living tubes allowing food to pass, and next to them are manager cells that control the flow, making sure food reaches every root. Because this system is living and active, it can move food in any direction, up, down, or sideways, to make sure the whole plant can grow and thrive. The water moving up isn't just plain water, it's carrying minerals from the soil. The plant needs some of these in large amounts for building its structure, and others in just tiny amounts to keep its internal chemistry working. If a plant misses out on these, it gets sick. For example, a lack of nitrogen will cause the leaves to turn yellow and eventually wither away, in a condition often called yellowing disease. To wrap things up, here is the big comparison you'll need to remember. The xylem uses dead, hollow tubes to move water and minerals strictly upward. The phloem uses living cells to move food in every direction throughout the plant. When we look at a tree again, we can see that our skyscraper metaphor is more than just a comparison. Every plant is a bustling hub of activity, with roots pushing water in, leaves pulling it up, and a living network of elevators delivering food to every single cell to keep the whole system alive.